Hey guys, my name is Chantal. Welcome back to my channel and thanks for hanging out with me today. So today we're going to talk about episode 8 of Haikyuu while I do my makeup. So I hope you guys don't mind. Once again, while I do my makeup, it's just a lot easier for me to do it this way. That way I have more time and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just me doing my makeup takes a lot of time. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and I hope you guys enjoy hearing my overall thoughts with this week's episode. I don't have too much to say and I hope you guys don't mind. But knowing me, I'll probably make it into a long video anyway, so yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm gonna shut up now and I'm gonna go ahead and roll the rest of the clip so you guys can hear my overall thoughts on this week's episode of Haikyuu. Alright you guys, so once again, I'm back with doing my makeup while I talk to you guys about Haikyuu. Hope you guys don't mind. Alright you guys, so with episode 8, I don't really have too much to say just because this episode pretty much wraps up everything that's happening with this practice match. I almost said training camp. I don't know why, but yeah. So I feel like there really isn't much to say that I already haven't said. So I don't know. We'll see how this video turns out. But I guess let's go ahead and start off with our boy Asahi, which I'm pretty sure if Mia is watching, she's gonna be really excited that we're gonna talk about her boy, her favorite boy. The only reason why I want to talk about Asahi for a little bit is just because I was really proud of him in this episode, because he did say, you know, he is a little bit afraid. Don't quote me on that because it's been a while since I saw the episode. I saw it on Friday and it's now Monday. I just didn't have time on Friday. But back to what I was saying about Asahi. He was just saying that and how that the text Aone was, you know, he is a lot stronger now and he is pretty much a lot scarier. But even then, Asahi said, but I'm not afraid this time. Which, hearing him say that, I was like, good boy. Like, he's definitely come a long way. So yeah, he's not the same guy he was once before, where if he starts thinking negative or if, you know, he starts feeling afraid, he's not gonna basically back down anymore. He is just taking things one step at a time. He just kind of takes it in now and is just a lot more calm about things, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm making any sense, but hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I'm overall really proud of Asahi, and that's all I'm gonna say regarding with Asahi. What else can I talk about? I guess let's go ahead and talk about my boy Tsukishima, because oh my gosh, I was absolutely dying because during this last bit of the practice match, Kageyama wasn't keeping tabs on Tsukishima's condition, and it wasn't until later he looks to his side, he sees Tsukishima is like completely out of breath. And he is just basically like, oh shit, like I kind of fucked up here for a second. And what's funny is that Tsukishima's little comment, oh my gosh, was hilarious. He basically said, well, I'm sorry I'm not a machine and I'm sorry that I'm not Hinata, basically. And I thought that was so stinking hilarious, like my poor baby boy. And like the way that he sounded, he was just completely out of breath, a little bit annoyed, and he's just like, why? You know, my poor boy, I love him. And since we're on the topic of Tsukishima, I do like that in this episode, especially in the beginning, he was explaining a lot of stuff and I was like, whoa, like this is a lot for me to like handle. Well, not so much to handle, but it was just a lot of information that he was throwing at us that it was just a lot to process, and I was just like, okay, slow down. Let my brain like take this all in so it could click. But basically, from what I can remember, he was just kind of explaining what Datetek's best situation would be in regards to playing with Kurasuno. And he has like this whole situation thought out, and it's like the most hilarious thing ever, to the point where even Suga is like, okay, whose side are you really on? Like, but overall, Tsukishima was really making a lot of good points, and you can tell he was just constantly thinking of what to do next and how he could possibly, you know, stop Datetek with his blocks. And I don't know. You can tell that my boy was just like thinking about a lot, and my boy, like, I don't know, like, I just so proud. I love my precious boy Tsukishima. He has definitely come a long way, which is why he's one of my favorite characters. He's my husbando. I can talk about him forever and ever. But yeah, I'm really proud of my boy. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it that I want to gush about regarding with Tsukishima. What else can I talk about regarding this episode? Oh, Hinata. Let's talk about Hinata because I was really impressed with him in this episode. So in this episode, Coach Ukai was basically kind of talking about what to do next with Datatech. And before he is able to say anything to Hinata, he's like, well, I have to like blend in the crowd, don't I? And the minute we hear that, Coach Ukai is like just smiling and he's just like, yep, that's what you gotta do. And the fact that Hinata thought about this on his own is so impressive. Like, nobody had to tell him. He knew exactly what he needed to do without any guidance, and I think that is really impressive in its own, and it just overall shows you how much Hinata has grown and how much he has learned from the training camp that he you know, broke into. But it just shows that his observation skills are definitely growing and he is definitely putting them into practice. So he basically kind of blends into the crowd for a while and is matching everyone else's tempo instead of doing like his usual minus tempo. And it's just really impressive because, you know, it keeps Datatech thinking about like all these different options, or they're like, well, if he's not doing this, and what's next, you know? So it keeps Datatech on their feet. And the minute that they lose a little bit of focus on Hinata, that's when they strike. And oh my gosh, you guys, there's like this moment in this episode with Hinata where he makes Kogane think that the ball is going to be tossed to Hinata, but in reality it's not. And the fact that Hinata was able to bait him was like so impressive, and I was just like, oh shit, like my boy. And I do like hearing Kageyama's like thoughts on this, because he thinks about it and he's just like, wait a minute, did he do that on purpose? He's like, wait a minute, did he do that on purpose, or was this just like a fluke or instinct? Like, what just happened? And of course, you know, Kageyama is going to catch that because he's been, you know, partners with Hinata for so long and he's practiced with him and everything. So I feel like Kageyama will be able to catch things a little bit easier, like to see that there's something off or different about Hinata. Same thing vice versa with Hinata, right? So it was just really nice to hear Kageyama be like, huh, that was something, and it's interesting. Like, he doesn't think that Hinata did it purposefully. He thinks it might have been just more so instinct. And I'm like, you know, like, I don't know, like, what else to say about that. It's just a really interesting concept to think, like, did Hinata really bait him into it or not? Because if he did, that's really impressive if he really did that. But once again, it just goes to show you that Hinata has definitely grown a lot more since starting with Kurasuno. So it's been an amazing journey overall with Hinata and his growth, and I cannot wait to see how much more he's gonna grow as, you know, he gets to play in more matches and stuff and learn new things and, you know, gain more experience. It's gonna be a fun ride. But regarding the practice match, I think that's pretty much about it. That's all I can really say. Like, it was really brief and short. There wasn't really too much going on. It's just basically like this episode, pretty much like I said last week, it wraps up the whole practice match. And it was just really nice to see Datatech once again before we head off to nationals. It was a really good practice match, especially for Kurasuno. I feel like they gained a lot from this practice match, especially because, like Coach Uka was saying, Datatech is going to be one of the toughest opponents that they're going to face next year. So yeah, that's gonna be really insane. When I really think about it, I'm like, damn, because they were really good in this practice match, and to think that they could get even better, I'm just like, how is that even possible? Like, what? Like, can y'all imagine it? I can't imagine it. Like, I can, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I can't. I don't know. Like, does that make sense? Probably not. But anyway, yeah, like, it just wraps up this training camp, And we had a lot of cute moments in this episode with Datatech and our Kurasuna boys. It was really cute. And one of those cute moments that I do want to talk about is when Kageyama talks to Kogane. It was really, really cute. The way that Kogane goes up to Kageyama, he's just like, hey man, like, I noticed that you don't tape up your fingers. Like, why? Like, it was just really, really cute. And Kageyama tells him, like, exactly why. He's just like, you know, it just feels really weird. So I just take good care of my nails so it doesn't, like, my fingernails don't interfere with it, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, like, the really cutest thing ever. And especially when Kageyama doesn't say his name right, he says it's something else, like, almost similar but not really. And I like how Tsukishima, like, drops in the background. He's like, it's Koganegawa. And then Kageyama is just like, huh? Oops. Alright. And he just is like, alright. And he just says his name right, which I thought that was really cute and funny. So that was their little cute moment. And then we also have Hinata and Aone. Oh my gosh, their little bow was just so cute. These two, I swear, have so much respect for one another, and their friendship is just so adorable. Like, I don't know, like, I love it. And the last thing that I do want to talk about is regarding Hinata and his little sister. Oh my gosh, Natsu. Like, it was so stinking adorable, you guys. Like, I cannot, like, my heart was just melting from all the cuteness. Like, seeing Hinata be a big brother was just adorable. It was really cute because Natsu, she sees Hinata playing outside and she's like, oh, can I try it? Can I try it? And Hinata's like, well, you can try, but you're not gonna be able to do it. And she tries to do it and freaking Hinata starts laughing. He's like, try again in another century. It's like, Hinata. But after that, he does generally, like, try to help her. He's like, okay, watch me and see if you can do it. And it was really cute, and I love this moment so much. Like, the way that Hinata was doing this little practice that he was doing, like with the ball, like just trying to catch it, was really, really cool to see. Like, I don't know why, but I was just like completely mesmerized, and I was just like, wow, like Hinata can like catch it, because there's a few times where he is like about to like not catch the ball, but he still manages to catch it, and I was like, huh, like that's really, really cool. Like, it was just really cool to see. And after a while, we hear Natsu say, you know, before, you and the ball used to be kind of like strangers, but now you guys are like best friends. And I was like, that is like the sweetest thing ever. And you can tell that really did mean a lot to Hinata, because he like just takes that in, like what she had to say. And he's just like, oh, like, thanks. Like, it's so freaking cute. But it does also show like just how much Hinata has definitely improved, and it's just, like, it's just so adorable. I love, love, love these two. So cute, so adorable. So I do want to talk about next week's episode for a little bit, because we did get preview images since it is Monday now. They usually get uploaded like every Sunday night or something like that, at least like in my time. So the preview images for next week's episode are up, and we also got to see the PV, like a little short PV in this week's episode as well. And oh my gosh, you guys, I am so beyond excited for next week's episode. You guys have no idea. I will say though, if you're looking for a little bit of action, it's not gonna be it. I'm sorry to say. If you anime onlys are expecting like a match next week's episode, you are sadly mistaken. Next week's episode is basically just gonna be a super chill episode, at least from the preview images and from what I can remember from the manga, as well as, you know, what we saw in the PV at the end of the episode, right? It's definitely gonna be just a really nice, sweet little episode. Nothing too crazy is gonna happen. I mean, the episode title is called The Night Before, or Everyone's Night, something like that. And it's just gonna be our Kurasuno members prepping for nationals and just getting to nationals. I'm guessing by the end of like next week's episode, we'll probably see who Kurasuno will be playing against. And yeah, I'm actually really excited. So these last few episodes after, you know, this episode that's coming up will be just one whole match. And as a manga reader, I kind of expected that, just because of the next match after this that's gonna be more focused on the second core is gonna be insane. The last thing I do wanna discuss, which isn't really a discussion but it's more like a question specifically to the manga readers. So my question out there to any of the manga readers out there watching, where do you guys think this first core is gonna end? Because I have an idea where they might end up ending this first core just to get the anime onlys like hyped up as well as us manga readers, because who are we kidding, we've been waiting for like the second match at nationals forever at this point. So I'm really curious. Just leave a comment down below, just make sure you tag your spoiler or just tweet at me, but again, make sure you tag your spoiler. That's all I ask from you manga readers, is to please be respectful to the anime onlys, because I absolutely cannot wait to see like their reactions for these next few things that are gonna happen, specifically where I think they might possibly end this first core. I'm hoping they do, because there's a certain character I want to talk about so badly, but I can't because he's considered a spoiler. It's really hard to talk about, but I feel like you anime onlys know what I'm talking about, especially since you know who the next Team Kurasano is going to be playing after this first one. Like, you guys know. If you're a manga reader, you know. So I'm curious, where do you guys think is it gonna end? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my ramblings for this week's episode of Haikyuu. I hope you guys enjoyed, and that is it. That's all my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!